all noticed a big change in Nia this season, and you will continue to do so. I had nothing to do with her music. However, initially I took Nia and Kendall, to a group of people that I'm friends with. One is a lyricist that writes the word, the song. One is a composer that writes the music. One is an engineer that mixes everything, and one is their manager, who was also in a band, and also is now the manager for the Black Eyed Peas and did Fergie's album and all that kind of stuff. So this group of people I'm socially friends with, and they're young and they're hungry and they work hard. And so I took Kendall and Nia to them. We went and had a meeting. Jill was there, Holly was there. Holly sat in that meeting and told these people what she wanted Nia's song to sound like. And I was producing, and producing means a couple things. You can be a producer, like what I was just talking about, and they're in the field with us, and they're the ones running up to somebody whispering in their ear, Melissa just rolled her eyes at you, so we want you to go after her. Okay, so that's what song producers do. Some music producers are the people that actually mix it and say, I don't like that verse, let's cut that out, let's put a new verse in, that kind of thing. Then there's producers that write the check. So I was the one that wrote the check. Why? I don't know. Why I didn't put a new roof on this building and fix all this stuff, I'm looking at all this stuff now, I don't know. That should have come first before some kid's career, but that's not who I am. That's not what makes me tick. I did it with Mackenzie, and my friend, we were on a trip somewhere, and he said, I think you should listen to Kendall sing again. Take another listen to her. And I said, why? He goes, I think she's your pop star. He said, I really do. So I did, and I liked what I heard, and we said, let's go for it. So we did. However, Nia had the same opportunity with me. And I feel that right now, in the industry, there's a ton of pop stars. Nobody of African American descent is doing the blues, is doing that old Diana Ross stuff, or that old Natalie Cole stuff, that classic stuff. No one is doing that. So I thought, let's bring a 13-year-old out and let's do something like that. I'm always looking for, as a dance teacher, for music to use, to choreograph to, and to teach to. So, you know, like Kendall, she just is going to go back and record a musical theater piece that you could use for, you know, a novelty or open in any dance competition. It's going to be great. So we go, we have this first meeting. Holly sits there and she tells this group of people, I want her to have a Taylor Swift song, and I want it to sound like this, and I don't want any language that is not correct grammar. I don't want ain't, I don't want yeah, I don't want anything like that. Da, 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 da. And they're like, all taking notes and everything. We were leaving for Mexico to go to a competition. We were going to be on a flight for 5 or 6 hours, and I told them, I need these songs written so that these kids can hear them, record, like that, they'll sing it, and put it in their ears so they learn every word, every melody by the time we get back so they can record. We can't waste that time on the plane. They have to do this. So these people stayed up for 48 hours and wrote her song. I wrote them a check. Next thing you know, Nia's calling Aubrey O'Day, or Holly's calling Aubrey O'Day, who is, again, a friend of mine. Not a really good friend. I'm not a fan of everything she does, and all her making pictures online. But you know how I'm really friends with her is her godchild is a little girl who's a dancer, who's a huge fan of ours. And that's how we initially met. So now all these people are doing her career. Well, turns out the television show, Lifetime and Collins Avenue Productions, they produced Nia's music. I still, till this day, right here with you, don't know who owns it. I don't know who owns her music. I don't know if she knows the had nothing to do with it. I was not consulted on one thing. And then they started to pull me out of rehearsal with us for the group dances to have a costume fitting, to have this, to have that, and they filmed everything. You don't see any of that at Kendall. A, because I was paying, and we didn't do it during rehearsals. We did it later when we were finished and we were wrapped from camera, so they wouldn't be there anyway. You also don't see it because with MacZ, we gave them the footage. I paid for everything. We shot it. We edited it. And then I turned around like on a silver platter and handed it to Lifetime Television, which is a multi-billion-dollar company that's owned by A&E, that's owned by Disney, to use on their show. So minutes of the show, I paid for it. Why? Why am I going to keep doing that? So when it got to Kendall, and Jill said, well, why are we doing that? They're going to have Nia, but why are we doing it? They're going to show more of Nia. I said, I know, but they're paying for that. I'm doing this. We'll be fine. Don't worry, Jill, relax. We'll be fine. I was the producer of the #1 video in the world. Thanks to all of you. In the world. I had just done a little morning TV show, KTLA, in LA a week ago. I come off, and a guy and a girl are do PR and stuff for us. They're standing there, and they're like, okay, she's #2. And I said, I know. How are we going to get her ahead of Taylor Swift? Maybe if every single person in my studio, everybody at the same time, buys the video. You know, like it's a surge, and it goes crazy. Maybe we can jump to that. And we're talking, what are we going to do? Maybe we can have a billboard. It has to be fast. Something. The white guy looks at his phone. She's already #1. The UK, Ireland, South America, South Africa, a couple South American countries, the USA. A 12-year-old kid that never sang a song before in her life. A video that Peyton, Kalani, Riley, and Addie were all in, and a bunch of guys from a local college that never danced before, that weren't really Army people, that were free, that would come and do it for pizza at lunch. And we managed to do that with the popularity and the fans of the show, and we were in 110 countries. So I'm sure that Taylor Swift's people were like, who is Kendall Nia? Like, what just happened? And how did it was ironic because you also have pictures, but Kendall had just gone to the Taylor Swift concert. So that I had a picture of the two of them together, and I was like, oh, this is gold. I have this guy to keep your friends close to it. And then we got all this, feedback from that. People can't just take a joke. I don't think they get that fun. And they're just trying to be fun. And we don't, sometimes I think we don't really have millions of followers. There's just 3 girls out there. There's 3 girls, and they each have like 500,000 accounts. And that's who follows us. They fight with each other. They don't even ask us any questions. They just fight with each other on social media. Be careful what you post. I don't think a day goes by that I do not scold Mackenzie for posting things with her lips crazy and her tongue out and her mouth open. I'm like, Mackenzie, you're a pop star. You're on a TV show. You just did another guest spot on a TV show. You have another album coming out. We don't need to see your tonsils. So, so be careful, kids, what you post on there, yes? Because once it's out there, it's out there. Forever. Believe me, I know. Okay, so that's what happened with Nia. So then Nia's video happens, and she has 2 men, I guess, behind her in bikini, silver lame underwear, painted with body paint, and But this whole starting on thing was not, that wasn't her. That was not her, that's not Nia. Nia is the most preppy, naive in a good way, in a simplistic way. Preppy, birthday party, Abercrombie, that's Nia. This whole new thing with her, I think, and some of you think, oh, she looks so cool, and she looks so this and so that. She just destroyed any dream of ever working for Nickelodeon. Because she looks like she's 20 years old. So she just aged right out of everything. And I'm trying to keep Mackenzie and even Maddie and Kendall as young, like they're the tween thing, but we're trying to keep Mackenzie as young as we possibly can. Because kids, what that means is that's longevity in a career. If they need somebody that's 14, 15, 16, they can hire someone 18 years old that looks 14, 15, 16. Somebody that doesn't have all the laws and all the rules that govern children working. Somebody that doesn't have to have a tutor on the set. Somebody that doesn't have to stop working at 4 o'clock when everybody else can work till 8 o'clock. They don't want that. It's a pain in the butt to work with kids. It's easier to work with animals than it is the laws. No, seriously, than to work with children. So I'm all for pushing the envelope. I'm all for wearing the right shoes with the right outfit. I am not a prude by any means. But if you really want to stay young, then you gotta stay young. You gotta be young. Don't grow up too fast. Yeah? Too many kids are growing up way too fast. And I'm very much into kids being independent. Have your own checkbook. Have your own debit card. Teach a kid that, get them a credit card with a $100 limit, and let them buy stuff and let them write their own check out every month and pay it off. And do that, because my parents didn't do that with me. And I think that stuff is important. So growing up that way, absolutely. Getting on the phone and calling downstairs and getting hotels set up, or ordering room service, or this or that, or walking over there across the street to get your food and come back here all by yourself. Yes, that kind of independence, absolutely, you need to do that. But the whole look and the image, I think that my kids are always costumed well. I think that we work really hard on that. And, I hope we're doing a good job as far as the image of kids that are now, 10 to 14 on the show. Yes. So now you have questions, girls?